Shannon has you covered with multiple systems and flexible payment options. Plus, as a full-service salon and barber, she offers everything you need to look and feel your best. Take the first step toward the new you and feel more confident. Call 502-572-4487 now or visit Hair by Shannon on Facebook to schedule your free consultation today. Get the hair you've always wanted at Hair by Shannon, where confidence begins. 502-572-4487. Experience Ivy Tech from the comfort of your own home. Check out Ivy Experience, an all-in-one platform that allows you to explore our beautiful campus, diverse programs, and helpful resources. You can visit experiencesellersburg.ivytech.edu to start your experience and apply for free today. Visit experiencesellersburg.ivytech.edu today.
Welcome in to Mondays with Dalton Pence. Hey, yo. We had a technical issue here.
I was like, what is going on?
Mondays is supposed to be you in the playlist, and it's not.
He was,
couldn't get that
Matt was like,
time.
Hold on, this is Roman's show.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Rome, if you want to run it, you can, man.
No, I couldn't get that shifted in time. Sorry.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Well, we dropped the ball early on. We're going to make up for it here in about 10 minutes. A special guest coming up here at 5:40. We're going to take you up until 6:30 tonight. Thanks for tuning in to another week's edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio. 502-414-1450, the Gameday Men's Health text line to get any thoughts in about the Wake Forest win. The NC State game tonight, how you feeling about that game? And also, we'll have a little baseball preview talk. The Cardinal 9 back in action to start 2026 with a season-opening series against Michigan State coming up on Friday. So, like I said, 502-414-1450 to get the Gameday Men's Health text line thoughts in. Matt, I'm sorry, brother. That was a tough watch last night. I feel bad for Drake May because I see this happen to Justin Herbert every single game, and I'm like, dude, I know that there's nothing worse than just watching your quarterback get absolutely teed off on every single play. And everybody said, oh, well, Drake May's really not playing all that well.
It makes you feel
we just false start on the offense.
It makes you feel like there's just nothing you can do. I mean, obviously there's nothing I can do. I'm watching the game, but it makes you feel like there's nothing your team can do, especially watching just Will Campbell just not be able to stop even a traffic cone.
What did Jelly Roll say? I'm not okay.
It was because it wasn't entirely on, like, a lot of it was on the offensive line, but Drake May did miss some open dudes in this game, and, you know, some pretty routine throws he usually makes. You could tell that getting hit early and getting pressured early really got into his head, and he couldn't really go through his progressions as much as he will. Rowan, I said earlier that he looked like a dude who played his first full season of NFL football. Like, that's what he looked like. And I think the most upsetting part of it was, one, losing in the Super Bowl just sucks, but two, your defense put up the best performance they've had all season in the first half, and they did everything you needed to do to win that game. You forced Sam Darnold into really uncomfortable situations. You almost had 2 or 3 really big turnovers that, you know, just maybe didn't go your way. Some balls got batted down. They should have been caught. And then Christian Gonzalez puts up one of the best halves of football I've seen a quarterback make in a long time, and you just do nothing with it.
Him and Devon Witherspoon were just absolutely balling out.
Yeah.
It was a bad game. I'll be completely honest with you. It was one of the toughest Super Bowl watches in a while, but I mean, I always feel bad when somebody's team loses in the Super Bowl. But then again, I quickly stopped feeling bad because I realized my team has not made a Super Bowl in my lifetime. So I'm like, yeah, man, grass is always greener. And I was like, you know what? I feel bad for Matt. Then I'm like, never mind. This dude has witnessed like 6 Super Bowls in his life. I don't feel bad for this guy at all. In fact, go Seahawks.
That's the thing is I can't talk to anybody about being sad about the Super Bowl because they're like, you have 6. And I'm like,
exactly. I don't feel bad.
And I'm like, yeah, that's true.
We don't have 6 playoff wins in my lifetime.
The worst part of this is one. So I go to every Super Bowl the past couple of years. I've gone to my girlfriend's house. They always do a big potluck and bring friends over, and it's always a good time to watch. There's really good food. They're all in quotations Seahawks fans because they're not really, but they have family that live in Seattle.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
So so they root for them.
Family is in Boston, so therefore I'm a Patriot.
But none of them watch football, so none of them understand what's going on. So the whole time it's them asking me questions about what's happening.
Oh, and I know you're mad. He's like,
shut up, man. We haven't scored at half, and they're looking at me as like, Matt, why are you not angry right now? What's going on? Why are they punting right now? Why don't they keep throwing the ball? I love the Rendiro family. They've welcomed me into their home. There's nothing I wouldn't do for these people.
Yeah.
But watching the Super Bowl last night was one of my least favorite moments I've had in the past couple years.
NFL is officially over, and, well, it's a basketball world up until coming up at the end of the week when Louisville baseball gets started up. But Cardinals' 3-game winning streak after getting embarrassed at Duke recently at the end of January. Victory over SMU, taking down both Notre Dame and Wake Forest. We have I called it a gauntlet of the rest of the regular season. It's a challenging stretch. 6 of the 8 games remaining currently are quad 1 opportunities. Louisville is currently sub 500 in that category. But if you're looking for an opportunity, or opportunities plural, to strengthen that tournament resume and bolster your chances to get a top seed, this is your opportunity, Matt.
It is. You've won 3 in a row now. You have a great stretch to where you can, like you say, get a decent amount of quad 1 opportunities, bolster your resume. It also helps, unfortunately, that Kentucky's doing well right now, so that's another top 25 win for us. But this is one where right before March, you're playing a pretty good piece of your schedule. You're not playing any Dukes or you only play North Carolina once. You're playing good quad 1 opportunities that you have a great chance to win these games. So we're not having to climb mountains out here. You have a really good opportunity to bolster your schedule with some very winnable games, and you get to finish off with Miami, Clemson, and North Carolina, 3 games that can really help your resume at the end of the season. So if you can win these coming up games, gain some momentum, go into North Carolina with a hot hand, you could possibly make something happen.
Yeah, I mean that's the one game that I'm truly I'll say scared for almost. And even that might not even be the best way to describe it, but that's the one game that I look at and I'm like, oh goodness, here we go. I think everyone else you can beat, and I think that you can go on the road to Chapel Hill and win. You've just got to show it, right? I mean, you've got to go in there and you've got to prove it. I don't think you match up particularly well with that team, especially since their strength is in the front court. I don't even want to think about having to come up with a game plan for Caleb Wilson.
You would need Kanai's best defensive game of the season.
It would have to be it's Hadley and Kanai for 40 minutes combined, just on Wilson alone. And that's not to mention Visar. That's not to mention Seth Trimble, who just hit the game winner, and he's starting to play really well. He's one of the stars of this team. I mean, this is a very good North Carolina team. But looking at the rest of the schedule, even though I'm not scared to play these teams, a lot of these are going to be challenging because although NC State and Baylor might not be as talented or as good as Louisville is, I think they match up really well. And that's kind of, I won't say worries me. It's something that I'm focusing on because this is an opportunity, and we'll talk about this after we bring our special guest on here in just a minute. This is an opportunity for Pat Kelsey to get a signature win. I think this is a signature win category. This is a signature win.
I think it definitely is.
It could be possible.
These are games that Will Wade wakes up for. I know that he had has had a rough little stint with NC State recently, but they're on the up and up. They're playing better as of late. They were top 25 early on in the season, and I expect them to probably finish in the top 25 if it all goes right for them. And this is a game they're going to have to really fight to win this game tonight.
They are, and we're going to have plenty of talk about this, talk about the Wake Forest game after we bring our special guest on. I'm just waiting for the go-ahead before we get him on. And we'll be ready to go. I'm texting him right now. He's like, what station are we on? Give me 1 second. What is I always forget what, like, the FM.
96.1?
96.1, that's right. I always just get used to saying Big X Sports Radio, and I'm like, dang, hold on.
I think Coach is declining my calls here. Probably doesn't realize.
Who's this guy calling me?
Probably doesn't realize it's the radio station calling.
False start.
You could have him call in if you need to.
We're in a 2nd and 20 situation right now, guys.
Yeah, we're kind of choking on the line. We are not doing well under pressure at the moment.
But we've got tricks up our sleeves. You know we are known for trick plays here on the Mondays with Dalton Pence show. The mics are hot, fellas. It's just a matter of time.
Are we good with trick plays, or are we good at talking about irrelevant things that nobody cares about?
A little bit of both.
I haven't heard Gameday talk in weeks.
You got to keep people on your toes. Never let them know your next move.
We're going to ask our guests 15 minutes worth of questions on just bidets.
We got bidets in the locker room.
Let him know he can.
What are the facilities looking like?
Called me because I called him 3 times. He didn't.
While we figured this out, Matt, tell me what worries you the most about this game against NC State.
I feel like we've played better on the defensive end as of late. The second half of Wake Forest, I feel like, is a really strong outlier in the past couple weeks. I feel like we've been seeing a really great upward trajectory in terms of efficiency and effort on the defensive end, especially when guys like Kanai Roos are on the floor. It seems like this is I keep almost saying UNC. NC State is a team that you can't get off to a slow start in. You need to play physical, efficient defense early on, get them into some trouble, just like you did in the second half against SMU. This is a team that can similarly, if you let them get ahead, if you let them gain too much momentum, they can easily keep you at arm's length, especially a team like Louisville that struggles to come back from major deficits. I'm not saying you need to get up by 15 early, but you need to assert yourself early in this game, be the physical, be the aggressor in this game, and force NC State to be uncomfortable.
I think the start is probably the most important aspect of this game. And we saw a good start against Wake Forest. Now, that's a whole different conversation about the defense that we'll talk about coming up at the top of the hour. But over the last 4 games, the Cardinals had trailed after the first 5 minutes in all 4 games. And I forgot who tweeted out. I think it was CC at the Best Wager on Twitter. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I've just got word that our special guest is on, as you all know. The Cardinal 9 back in action this weekend for a regular season series opening. Season opening series against the Michigan State Spartans. We've got Louisville baseball head coach Dan McDonnell on the line. Coach Mack, what's going on, sir?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing good, Coach. Fill me in. I know the weather's cold, but obviously starting in mid-February every year. What's the vibes over there at Jim Patterson like?
Well, it's been a tough winter, as we all know. But, we've been outside enough. We'll be ready. And optimistically, the weather is picking up. And so, mid-40s and 50s this weekend, hey, we'll take it. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we open up at home against Michigan State. Free admission. Friday's game is going to get moved to 2. We just want to take advantage of the sun, the nice weather, beautiful Friday afternoon. Right now we're scheduled for 2, 1, and 1. Then we'll return Tuesday versus Xavier, and then we head down to Texas for a big tournament there at Globe Life where the Rangers play. But 18 of our first 21 games are at Jim Patterson Stadium. 15 of them are free. So really cool.
If you missed Cardinal baseball, you have a great opportunity, or opportunities plural, to be able to go out and see them play locally or at Jimmy P Stadium. Coach, When we brought you on last year, right after that Kosher Shriners Classic in Texas, I asked you a question about the pressure that was on the program, having not made Omaha in a couple seasons. And your response to me, paraphrasing, of course, was along the lines of, well, we introduce internal pressure, via our team every single year, regardless of the previous year's outcome. Having, coming off of that Omaha trip last year, making the top four, talk to me about kind of what that did for the overall, vibe of the program, where it's at, and how you deal with that pressure now. Because, I'm sure pressure looks pretty different every season.
Well, it just shows that we can bounce back. It just shows that, everybody handles tough times, whether in life, in a business, as a family, and as an athletic team. And we had such a great run for a long, long time. And then, the post-COVID NIL era, we went through a couple tough years, but I was so proud. I think the lessons that a Tucker Biven, Matt Klein, Justin West, Patrick Forbes, even a Zion Rose was a little younger, but guys that stuck with us, guys that went through a tough period, tough time in the program, not achieving the success that they were expecting to have, to put it together last year should prepare them for life. That, hey, when I'm down in the valley or when I get knocked to the ground, I can pick myself up. And if anything, I can become stronger. And so the hope is all those guys that return this year, Zion Rose, Lucas Moore, Wyatt Daniel-Levitt, TJ Schlagater, Alex Alisea, guys that have been here for 3 or more years, went through some tough times, then went through some really good times. They should know the fine line between winning and losing, and you hope that leadership, along with all the new faces, keeps everybody on point. That it's a long season. Yeah, you want it to go magical and you want to have a great regular season, but that's just not how it is, especially in baseball. And let's be ready to expect anything that happens. Hopefully we get off to a great start. It's nice if your stars can stay healthy. Need other guys to step into some pivotal roles. And, this is 4 to 5 months of a season that's about to begin. So just excited that we're at home. We're coming off that momentum. I say it. We win that Super Regional last year. I give Jim Patterson Stadium, I give our fan base the credit. That was a 3-2 Game 3 win. They're one swing away from winning that Super Regional. Fortunately, we were the home team. We had the crowd. We had the energy. We had the momentum. And we squeak out a really close win. It was so cool to see our fan base just rejuvenated. They were fired up, and we're hoping to take that momentum into this weekend, and especially for this first month while we're home, 3 of the next 4 weekends.
Coach, everyone knows about, of course, returning Zion Rose, Lucas Moore, Alex Alisea, Take Davis, and having that, core, so to speak, coming back from a Final Four finish. But with a program like Louisville, of course, no stranger to losing key guys every year, and it's just that next man up mentality. So I'm going to ask you about a couple of them that have been talked about. Ben Slanker from Ohio, really good player out of the MAC. What's been your impression on him in the offseason, and what can we expect from him this season?
As we seem to do, right? We got to plug a hole or two, and we did it with Dylan Hoy, then we did it with Byram Hott, and of course, Garrett Pike last year. This year, Ben Slanker's that one older outfielder that can step left-handed at bat. Jimmy Nugent, junior college catcher, that started off at a Big Ten school, ended up at a junior college, and then, Jake Beam, while we're talking about some transfer portal guys, was a Friday night starter for Kent State. So a couple older pieces there, an outfielder, a catcher, a pitcher, combined with Lucas Moore, Zion Rose. I really like our young outfielders in Griffin Crane and Kyle Campbell. They're going to get to play an awful lot. Byram Hott, Alisea, and and Tay Davis returned. Cade Elam has been a really good freshman from Corbin, Kentucky. Was a really good high school football quarterback. Thankfully, he chose baseball. And then, the pitching side of it, I've been bragging about the sophomores. I'm anxious to see the sophomores take the jump to the next level. Jake Greger, Kason Murphy, Aaron England, Kian Boyster. Schweitzer and Eberle had really good freshman years, but add in 4 or 5 other sophomores, and I'm excited about that sophomore group.
Let's look at that pitching staff, Coach. There's been videos out there previously, about you raving about the staff, and there are some very talented guys, not only returning but coming in. You mentioned Jake Bean coming over from Kent State, Ethan Eberle, Peter Michael, who is primed to have another breakout season. You also mentioned Wyatt Danielewicz, his versatility, not only being able to utilize him out of the back end of that pen, but also in potential midweek starts. Is that correct? Or are you looking to potentially stretch him out at times?
No, you got it. You're on. You got Eberle and Jake Dean seem to be the 1-2 combination right now. The third spot, Peter Michael did a really good job in that spot. Him and Wyatt Danielewicz have kind of dueled it out. They both pitched really well. You kind of feel like whoever falls to the fourth starter could get moved to the Tuesday slot. And as I said at our leadoff banquet, Cade McClure was an All-American pitching in our Tuesday slot. Those games are crucial. Like, you play 30 games in the ACC, you play 26 non-conference games. Lots of times your RPI is going to come down to the 26 non-conference games. So every Tuesday, Xavier, Eastern Kentucky, Moorhead, Western Kentucky. We play Kentucky twice. We play Vanderbilt once. We play Indiana. Like, those games are crucial. So it's a good feeling if you think, okay, we've got 4 older starters. Then all those other guys, just let them fall into place. Hartman's got starts under his belt. TJ Slagater's got starts under his belt. You feel like Kason Murphy and Aaron England, these guys all look like they're good enough to start. But they're versatile. They can come out of the bullpen. They can pitch with runners on base. They can field their position. And I'm probably most optimistic, not that we're going to be perfect on the mound, just that we've got depth, we've got options. Yes, there'll be some talented young kids that'll run out there. But right now, I'm kind of leaning on the sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And then when you get a Brandon Shannon or a really talented young kid, that's just going to be a bonus for our pitching staff.
Coach Dan McDonald here with us on Mondays with Dalton Pence. We got a couple more questions for Coach Matt. Coach, wondering about, obviously, the injury with Parker Detmers. Is there any possibility of the door staying open for a potential late season debut, or is he done for the season, or is there anyone else that's dealing with injury, or are we looking into it with a clean slate of health?
Well, first on Parker, we have to get him ready to pitch at the end of the season. Doesn't mean we will, but I always feel like it's better for a guy who's rehabbing to have a sense of urgency, not to push the envelope, but every day I wake up like, hey, I'm one step closer to pitching this spring. And so let's see, just in case we do need him in the postseason. Hopefully he's going to be available, but that'll be a game time decision as the spring goes on. Eli Hoyt was a talented junior college arm we brought in last year. Couldn't get him going, couldn't keep him healthy. Didn't pitch him this fall due to a knee injury, trying to get the arm healthy. And he could be a guy, a month into the season, could be a really nice boost that we bring in an older, experienced guy, really talented, turn down money to come to school and man, I'd love to get Eli Hoyt healthy a month into this season just to add a boost to our pitching staff.
Coach Matt Childress here. There's been a lot of excitement around the bullpen for this team after making the College World Series last year. You even mentioned that you're leaning heavily on the sophomores and juniors, one of those being Ethan Everly and TJ Schlageter. I wanted to know, with the, Patrick Forrest moving on, getting drafted last season, is there somebody in that starting rotation or even in the bullpen that's taken a decent leap into more of a leadership role with the pitching players or the pitching staff so far?
It's really, I think if you start with the older guys, because Wyatt was so valuable, TJ Schlageter was thrown in the midweek, and then Peter Michael was a good Sunday starter. You got three older guys that seem to great leadership. Two of them are captains. The other one could be a captain. Three guys that are just well respected on our pitching staff. As we said, one will probably start on Sunday, one will start on Tuesday, and the other one could be what we call a first out, like crucial arm when you're going into a weekend series. Then from there, like I said, it's that group of sophomores, Schweitzer and Eberle, put together a great second half of the season. But I'm looking forward to, like I said, there's 4 or 5 others in Gregor, Boyster, Murphy, and England, and I'm just anxious to see them make the jump from a tough freshman year, which a lot of freshman years are tough, to a, man, I've arrived and I'm ready to be a consistent guy as a sophomore. Then, then let's see what Jake Bean should be able to do. And then from there, we'll go to the freshmen. And, Brandon Shannon is a high-profile freshman, but he's not the only talented one. I'm anxious to see which freshmen will emerge. Because, if I knew that Schweitzer and Eberle were going to emerge this time last year, I'd probably be lying to you. I didn't know that. With freshmen, you just don't know. They're all talented. You just don't know it's going to click for who, and then who's just going to struggle, and it kind of snowballs on them. So I'm anxious with this freshman class. Brandon Shannon's a name that people are going to hear about because of the resume coming out of high school. Plus, when he runs out there on the mound, when you look at the scoreboard, you're going to see some serious velo, mid to upper 90s. And I think, if he does what we think he can. But we need others. I mean, we always need freshmen to step in and contribute. And I'm anxious to see 2 or 3 of these other freshmen, how they handle the lights being on.
Coach, Roman Kelly here. I wanted to ask you, because there's a lot of new pieces that this team's going to have with the freshmen, the transfer portal guys that have come in, the bullpen guys that are going to be incorporated and whatnot. With this last year's squad being a team that kind of prided itself on its culture, its ability to never feel like it's down and out. We're going to continue to battle no matter the situation, no matter the moment, and always have that belief they could win. That kind of was infectious and became a quality of this team that it had from top to bottom. How are some ways that you get the new guys, the freshmen, the transfer portal pieces, to kind of buy into that culture and make them see it? Or do you really more so just rely on the leaders to lead by example?
Well, I think all the sophomores, juniors, seniors, whether they went through a tough year or last year was a tough regular season, they can all build on that. Don't get too high when things are going great. And when things aren't going great, you know what? You can learn from that. You can get off the mat, and you should get tougher every time you get knocked down. As we always say from the Jay Billis book, Toughness is a muscle. You can create toughness. Toughness is not a gene. You're not born with a toughness gene. I might have grown up in a tougher surrounding and background than you, but I'm not tougher than you because I have a certain gene. I might just have more worldly experiences that have helped me get tougher. So I think last year you saw that in that group. They went through so much, whether it was in the previous years or just that group, all the Tate Davis and Schweitzer and Eberle, what that whole group went through, boy, man, they got tougher as the year went on. And that's where we got to keep that culture. All those guys should be able to pull from that experience. Championship reps was one of our key phrases last year. This year's group kind of added own it. You got to own it, which is big. You know, be accountable, take responsibility. So, you know, everything's great, you know, like Mike Tyson said, until you get punched in the mouth. And so everybody's feeling good about their seasons. The national start date is this Friday. Like I said earlier, don't get too high, don't get too low. Let's run out there. Let's see what we got. Let's mix and match some lineups. Let's give 12 to 14 for the pitching. Yeah, the ball's just getting flipped to you. So let's see how you compete, and then it's our job through the good and the bad. Let's keep coaching. And the one thing I do love to do, man, is we can coach throughout the season. This is a 4-5 month. This is a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. You're not going to win the national championship opening weekend, but let's be honest, we want to win, and we're competitive, and the expectations are very high. As the team goal will be to win a national championship, that's clear. We kind of pack that away when the season starts. It's all right, we know what the end goal is. It's a long way to get there. So let's be where our feet are. Let's see where we're at. And then, yeah, let's coach. Let's all, if we're telling the players to own it, what I always say as coaches, we're most accountable. So we, too, have to own it as well, no matter what happens.
Louisville Baseball head coach Dan McDonald. Coach Mike, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the game tonight. Louisville Baseball starting their 2026 campaign with a home series against Michigan State this weekend. Be sure to get out to Jim Patterson Stadium. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up with the preview of tonight's primetime game against the NC State Wolfpack. You're tuned into Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville.
Cards fans, advance your career without interrupting it with U of L's 20-month professional MBA, the program designed specifically for busy working professionals. Combine the experience of a top-rated program with the convenience of evening classes that accommodate your schedule. Connect with industry experts, expand your professional network, and hone your business acumen. Get started today and earn your MBA. The first step is visiting business.louisville.edu/U of L MBA.
Calling all basketball fans, make plans to be at the KFC Yum Center this season to watch head coach Pat Kelsey and Louisville men's basketball at any of their 9 ACC home games. Visit gocards.com/MBB tickets to purchase today. Go Cards!
Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling, serving the Kentuckiana area, specializing in residential changeout. Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling offers free second opinions. If you get some bad news from your heating and air guy, call Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling. 812-786-0469 for a second opinion. Call Mitch Craig Heating and Cooling. Again, 812-786-0469.
When the Cards hit the court, they bring strength, skill, and precision. So does United Mechanical. From HVAC to electrical, plumbing, and refrigeration, they've got the expertise that Kentuckiana commercial and industrial businesses rely on. Get on board with the home team this season. Get on board with United Mechanical. Call them today at 502-339-1133 That's 502-339-1133. Let's go Cardinals.
When design is key to your landscape project, give Walnut Ridge Landscape.
The plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC technicians of Local 502's commitment to excellence can be seen in our community every day. The KFC Yum Center, Ford Motor Company, and the Omni Hotel are just a few examples of their professional craftsmanship. Local 502 has been part of our community for over a century and invests over $1 million annually training skilled local workers. Members of Local 502 are your friends, neighbors, and children's coaches. For more information, go to lu502.com. Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow.
We'll keep plenty of sunshine around for this afternoon with highs today in the 40s for most of us and 50s south of the parkways. Now for tonight, mainly clear to partly cloudy skies as temperatures fall down into the 20s and the low 30s. We will watch for some areas of fog for early Tuesday morning. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
This forecast is brought to you by United Mechanical, your trusted partner for commercial and industrial HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and refrigeration. Call 502-339-1133. This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville.
Top of the hour here on this shortened edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on the Big X Sports Radio. Dalton Pence, Ron McKelly, Matt Childress taking you up till probably 6:30 tonight. We're going to end a little bit early so we can get out to the Yum Center as well.
We just started.
Romer,
Isn't Paul Rogers, doesn't he start an hour before, right?
I don't know. I think
so.
So I think we're already technically competing. So
well,
probably better to get out early.
Yeah, I mean, this is my radio slot. So.
Roman, I just want to congratulate you for getting Dan McDonald on the ticket punchers.
I was like, man, Ron McKelly taking all the credit today.
Listen, look.
Hey, shout out Coach Mack, by the way.
I don't make the playlist for each day. They're supposed to be a Mondays with Dalton Pence intro.
It was
Mondays.
confusing.
I might have to switch up my. I think the intro song's getting a little stale. I need to. It's not getting stale because Still Tippin's still an elite song, but I need to
Time for a little reset.
Yeah.
When we were starting the three-man front 3 weeks ago.
What's your all's intro song for that?
So Roman asked me, he was like, there's 5 minutes before we start. He's like, oh, wait, we don't have an intro or anything. You need to come up with something. The first thing came to my head, The Way I Are instrumental by Timbaland.
Fire, though, bro.
It's great. It's
hold on. Hey, hold on.
First thing that came
Let him cook. I said, let him cook.
Oh, it's a banger. I love it.
Dude. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty fire intro. But
Roman said The Way I Are. Is that how you say that? I was like, yes.
Is Timberlake in that one? Justin Timberlake, is he in that one?
No, that's Carry Out by Timbaland.
Okay.
I love me some Timbaland.
I'm about to say it's like mid 2000s hip hop.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go back in the memory bank there. Rome, are we just going straight up to 6:30 or are we breaking again beforehand?
Yeah, we'll have 6:26 technically.
Okay, so we're just going to go straight up to 6:26.
Yep.
Perfect. Guys, Louisville has a basketball game tonight. They are taking on the NC State Wolfpack. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little surprised by the spread. Spread is now 7.5. It has jumped from 6.5 to 7.5. Preliminary thoughts, I think it's a little bit large. For transparency, I think Louisville wins this game. I think it's going to be closer than 7 points, though, or 8 points if you're going by the current spread.
They haven't announced starting lineups, have they?
They have not. I just think NC State matches up well with Louisville. Will Wade is one of the best game planning coaches in the ACC, one of the best scouting head coaches in the conference, and you know that they're going to be scouting Louisville well. I mean, teams have been scouting the Cardinals well because their issues are recurring. Like, you know what Louisville does and doesn't do well. They're not going to fool you by any means. Now, the difference is if Louisville is keeping it to where their offense is one-dimensional, that's when things get a little bit interesting. But if they're taking the ball to the basket, you can at least get the defense off guard. The reason why I think that NC State's a tough matchup, number one, is because of the scouting. But number two, the Wolfpack shoot the ball really well from deep. It's a team that shoots about 40% from three, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the conference. And with how the Cardinals have been late consistently on closeouts and struggling to defend the perimeter, which is allowing everything to open back up, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of one of those things, it's like a 6-foot putt on the green, right? Got to see it. I got to see it. This is an opportunity for Pat Kelsey to silence some doubters. I think that game fits into this category. I don't know if you all agree with me on that, but I do think that NC State is a good enough team, and this is a good enough matchup to where I do believe that this game fits into that significant win category. Maybe not like a Duke or a Tennessee at the time, but I think NC State is a pretty dang good team, guys.
Roman?
I think this definitely falls under the category of a big win or a good win. And I don't think it's not necessarily a big win, but it could be. They've got some more games where they could kind of screech up a little bit higher in the rankings and in the net and whatnot. I think that, though, this kind of shows you can go out there and if you beat this NC State team, you can beat a team that's got a player on the floor that's better than you. When's the last time that we beat a team that had the best player on the floor, right? And granted, I think...
When is the last time that it's happened? I'm being so serious. When is the last time that's happened?
Probably.
Is it this year?
I think it's in the Chris Mack era.
I think we probably beat somebody last year that had a better player. Like,
I don't know.
I mean,
if you think about Maxine Reynaud, like technically,
but is he better than Chucky?
Well,
not as a college basketball player. No.
Hold on. Think about this year.
Boopy Miller, maybe.
I don't think that. Well,
this season, no. He's not.
Are you sure?
He's statistically been better than Mike Hill. He's better at basketball.
Do you consider that Otega Owe is better than any player on our team?
No, I don't think
I think at that moment in time he was probably ranked a little higher. But even then, I don't think people would.
Indiana, Lamar Wilkerson, no. This year,
we don't beat teams very often.
This year, the answer is no.
If we would have beaten Arkansas, I would say Darius Acuff, 100%.
Well, I mean, if you would have beat Duke, you definitely would have an answer.
I know, but I'm saying that's like the closest.
What about last year, though? Indiana had. Would you say that somebody on that Indiana team was better?
Omar Ballo, he didn't perform better.
I think Chucky Hepburn. The thing about it is Chucky wasn't Chucky until like late December.
Tucker DeVries was hooping last year.
Who?
Tucker DeVries.
Yeah, but he got hurt. It's kind of. I agree.
Go to West Virginia. We beat them. He's talking about that.
Yeah,
game?
West Virginia.
I agree, though, Rome. But I also don't think that the player that you're referring to is like hands down, without a doubt, better than every player on our team. Like, I think that Darion Williams is a really good player. He's going to be a mismatch for this team, but is he, without a doubt, better than Ryan Conwell at his best?
No, it's debatable.
But this is a good team. This is a team that all 5 starters average over 10 points a game. You have a 6'6" guard averaging 7 rebounds. I'm sorry, 7 assists per game.
Just had 16 the other night against SMU.
I mean,
with no turnovers.
And he's their 3rd best scorer. Their other 2 is a 6'6" forward guard. The other one is a 6'5" guard. So another thing is, we've seen Louisville struggle with the physicality and with opposing teams having more size. Do you think that changes tonight? Do you think that Louisville starts out the game better than they did against SMU, better than they did against Duke?
This is an interesting one because top to bottom, we're bigger. But on the perimeter, they have more size. We haven't seen a lot of teams like that where we have the front court size advantage, but they have the back court size advantage.
I'm not going to call...
By goodness, that's Sananda Fru's music.
That should be.
It should be.
I'm not going to call this game like some massive page-turning game here because I do believe that Louisville should win this game.
I mean, you're favored by 7.5. It's not going to be like, oh, my goodness, Louisville's a title contender because you beat them.
This game is definitely a major building block going down the road. I think it is.
Well, I mean, look at February. Look at the rest of February. I mean, you can say whatever you want about some of these teams that the Cardinals are playing, but currently, right now, 6 of the remaining 8 games are quad 1. You're playing Baylor, and Baylor hasn't been great, although they're playing in the best conference in basketball. You're playing them basically on the road. You're playing them in Fort Worth. That is a stone's throw away from Waco. So, I mean, it's a basic road game. Then you're at SMU, who's a good team, at North Carolina, at Clemson. You have to go to Miami. Your easiest games on paper right now are Georgia Tech, who admittedly is one of the worst teams of the conference, and Syracuse, who, depending on what team you get, can be a tough game. But 6 of those 8 are quad 1. I think you're right, Matt. This has to serve as the building block because February is going to decide what your tournament outlook looks like, right? I mean, it goes without saying the Cardinals at the moment, depending on where you have them in bracketology, I think a lot of people would say a 6 seed is where they're likely at. You want to avoid what happened last year, you got to go pick up more quad 1 victories. The good news is that you have the opportunities. The maybe not so good news is that you have a tougher schedule than maybe some other teams out there. But honestly, I like it this way, Rome.
I think it gives you the opportunity to take it instead of hoping for the best, right?
We saw what happened last year. You basically ran the table, and the tournament committee said, LOL, cool. That's great. Happy that happened for you, though. Oh, by the way, that conference that we don't like, we're going to bring North Carolina into the tournament because logic.
Because it's my team, and I'd make the decisions, and I work.
I mean, they didn't even try to hide it, bro. That's the worst thing about it. They didn't even try to hide it. Oh, well, North Carolina's got the resume. Do they? North Carolina's got the conference. Do they?
When the representative's the one at the table giving them a shout, then all of a sudden they do.
Let me ask you all this. Is there looking at the next 8 games, okay? We've got 8 games remaining. Is there a low bar that Louisville can't lose X amount of games moving forward, in your opinion, where you're like, it's unacceptable for me if Louisville loses X amount of games?
3.
I'm right there at 3. That's what I was going to say.
So 5-3 would put you at 22-9 going into the conference tournament.
5-3, you need to beat NC State.
So you're assuming, let's put it this way, and it's tough to assume, but you're beating Georgia Tech and Syracuse in that regard, right?
Yes.
So that's 2 of your wins.
Just don't lose to North Carolina is what I'm asking for.
That's the toughest game on your schedule, though, Rome.
You lose another one. Just don't lose that one.
You see, I'm actually going to go opposite.
I'm about to say, you lose at North Carolina, your resume doesn't take a hit.
I'm saying if you want this fan base to have serious confidence going into March, but if you need to be competitive at UNC.
He might be cooking, though.
No, he is.
Because if you beat North Carolina, then that's like, oh my goodness, that's the signature win that everyone's been clamoring for Matt Kelsey to get.
I agree. That's not the one I have circled, though. If you can play that game competitively, then I still feel good. You need to beat Clemson away. We've never done it. It's a top.
Have we not done it?
We've never beaten Clemson away. It's a top 20 game. That's going to be a really rowdy environment as our last 3 games in the ACC schedule.
Is it going to remain a top 20 game, though? Because this Saturday, Clemson goes to Duke.
I think so. I think it's a good Clemson team. I think they can put up a fight
against Duke. Not offensively, though.
I think if you're asking me what... Okay, so here's the thing. Let's say, for hypotheticals, you beat NC State and Baylor, and... Let's say you beat NC State, Baylor, you lose at SMU.
I'd be okay. That's fine.
You lose at Miami, and you get to pick. Do you want to beat North Carolina on the road, or do you want to beat Clemson on the road? I think you've got to go North Carolina.
Yeah, it's North Carolina easily.
I think. Then again, context matters, right? Because there's cases to be made for both. Because you could say, well, Matt's right in the sense that losing to North Carolina doesn't hurt you, but then again, neither does Clemson.
If Clemson beats Duke, both answers are correct now.
But if you lose to Clemson, it's not going to make your resume drop off, right? But if you beat North Carolina, I think you have more to gain. And it's going to be more of a high-profile victory because everyone is talking about the Tar Heels right now. And I hate to say it, no one's talking about Clemson. And that's not their fault. Not saying Clemson's a bad team. It's just Carolina being a blue blood inevitably is going to get more of that press.
UNC also doesn't play a pretty hefty schedule until they get to us. Their biggest games are going to be Miami on tomorrow. Then they also play NC State on the 17th. Other than that, it's Miami, Pittsburgh, NC State, Syracuse, and then us.
That North Carolina game is a Monday night game, too, so that could be a standalone primetime at 7 p.m.
That's one where if you can get some serious momentum, like let's say we go on a really good run and we go straight up undefeated for this next stretch up into that UNC game.
I think it's possible.
It's definitely possible.
I think tonight is your toughest game of the 4 coming up before the North Carolina game.
I think if you can do that, then if you end up losing that game, it does still hurt because you kind of lose that momentum. But you either need to if you drop one of these beforehand, you either need to win that game or go undefeated up to it, gain a lot of momentum, put your building blocks together, and then go and win at Clemson. One of those has to be a win.
I think 5-3 is a good mark. I also think, and I made the case on my podcast, that even when Mikel's not shooting the ball well, you see how good of a passer he is when he's not trying to force the issue too much. Like, he's a very, very good passer with really good court vision. With that being said, looking at this next stretch, beginning tonight, the Cardinals need their 2 stars. You need Ryan Conwell and Mikel Brown Jr. to break out of their slumps because both of them are going through it at the same time. And thankfully, Sinan Defru has a perfect 7-for-7 afternoon against Wake Forest. Thankfully, the dude turns in to who's the best rim protector of all time? Hakeem,
maybe.
Isn't it? Like, who is it in college?
I have no clue.
Shaq?
He turns into prime insert player here defending.
He turns into prime Ben Wallace.
He was great on the defensive end the last 4 minutes of the game. Sinan Defru, Isaac McNeely, Javon Hadley, and Kenai Roots were arguably your biggest stars on Saturday.
Shame the beat.
And it's
Shame the beat.
I was so convinced that guy was going to be a menace in the pros, man. But anyway, back to the point. If you can get that level of production from your supporting cast, and all of a sudden Mikel and Ryan start shooting the ball more efficiently, guys, this is the team that maybe we were all hoping for. And I don't want to get everyone's hopes up too much because we got to see it, right? But, man, we're right there. We are Ryan Conwell and Mikel Brown Jr. finding out how to break out of their slumps away from this team being super dang good.
You're seeing a lot of adjustments being made to this team late in the season where you're not attempting as many three-pointers, you're touching the paint a lot more, you're swinging the rock a lot more.
Later than we'd like.
Yeah, a little bit, but we're changing the defense up a little bit. You're seeing the intensity come out earlier in games.
Good point.
Wake Forest, you kind of wish the second half was, at least close to mimicking the first half. But the biggest, the key piece of the – oh, my gosh.
I gotta break this up to say that On3 posted that former pro Charles Bediako, the guy who has played a couple games for Alabama, denied a preliminary injunction against the NCAA and will no longer be eligible to play for Alabama this season. Because of what I've been led to believe, you have to. Did they win a game that he played? Yeah, they beat Auburn. Did he play in that game?
But he was deemed eligible in those games.
But now he's ineligible.
So I don't think you can take those away from them.
I feel like they've done it with.
The only thing I can say about that is, does Nate Oates even care, and will the NCAA even do anything about it if he plays?
Oh, if he plays them anyway?
They'll just go ahead. They'll just try to punish Louisville.
Yeah, they'll make it our fault.
You do one more thing, and next
See what happens when you grab London Johnson. All the stuff starts.
See what happens when you try to recruit the G League.
Bediako's about to cost London Johnson his career.
We got about 5 minutes, guys. Give me some score predictions on who the top scorer is going to be tonight.
Go ahead, Matt.
I think I'm going to stick with the – what did I say on your show, Roman?
Zugris.
83-78?
Yeah, it was around that. It was like 84-77, something like that. I'll stick around that same number, 83-78, 84-77. I wish it was Zugris. That'd be fun. I think I almost was right last time. I thought it was going to be the Kenai Roots game against Wake Forest, but Sinan Defru just kind of took over the game and kind of shadowed everybody. I think this is the one. I'm with you on this, Dalton. I think we're going to see Ryan Conwell come out.
I thought you were about to go with Zugris.
No.
I was like, excuse me?
Ryan Conwell has played extremely well at home, especially in these high-profile games where the crowd is really into it. It's rowdy in there. Kentucky, Duke at home. I think this Virginia in the second half. I think this is going to be a big Ryan Conwell game.
I'm going to go 86-84. I think it's going to be close. I also think it could be a situation where the Cardinals are winning by like 7 to 9 points, and then NC State, because for whatever reason, teams love to shoot 100% from the field when we're winning by like 10 points with 2 minutes to go. I think it's going to be a very close game. I'm going to go with, I think Mikel. I'm going to go with Mikel here.
God, I would love it.
I think that it's about time for some of those layups to start falling. I think he's going to do a good job of getting to the basket, and I'm hoping that point of emphasis is made to get downhill. And I think that that's the main key, is that Louisville has to get those paint touches, but more importantly, They've got to take it downhill because when you do, you open everything up. So I'm going to go Cards 86, Wolfpack 84, getting our revenge once again for the Wolfpack, taking Maverick Rowan away from this fan base.
I love that. I think that the Ryan Conwell does get going. I think that Michael Brown gets going as well. I'm going to go 84-79, fellas.
You just referenced Maverick Rowan?
We did not forget, Matt. We did not forget.
Remember how hype everyone was just because his name was Maverick?
Dude, listen, man. When we
All the
lost
Top Gun memes?
We lost. I mean, this is revenge for them taking Cat Barber. This is revenge for them taking Maverick Rowan.
How many people?
It's personal, Matt.
How many people do you think were genuinely excited just because he had a cool name?
It's all it takes.
Maverick Rowan was a hooper, bro.
He was a hooper. I'm not saying he wasn't, but like I'd say there's a good 45% of the fan base.
The one that
like,
got away,
that'd be
Matt.
so awesome to have Maverick on our team.
We win the national title with Maverick Rowan on this team. Even in 2018 with David Padgett, we win the national title with Maverick Rowan on this team.
I still can't believe David Padgett didn't get a serious chance at coaching.
Now we're
That
trolling
still blows my
on a
mind.
Monday on the radio.
What's that, Rome?
Now we're trolling on a Monday on the radio.
Trolling? I've never done such a thing. What do you mean trolling?
Do you think London Johnson has a bidet?
All right.
Maybe the NCAA is looking into that.
We like the over 161.5, fellas. You guys, I guess, we both have predicted over in that one.
Can I give you a prop for tonight that I'm a huge fan of, Rome?
What's that?
Javon Hadley, 10-plus points, minus 172.
Okay.
He scored in double digits and all, but, like, I think he scored in double digits in, like, his last 10-plus games. The only one he didn't was when he got hurt against Notre Dame and only played 3 minutes.
Give me the Sananda Fruit 6+ rebounds at minus 1.
He's not even listed.
Bet 365.
Oh, I use FanDuel. Javon Hadley.
Love him some bet
10+
365.
points. Yeah, I was about to
Start
say.
using Kalshi next, I bet.
Oh, gosh, don't get me started.
You're going to be able to bet on how fast it's going to take Dalton Pence to get food before getting to the Yum Center.
Over or under 659 tonight. It's got to be the over, truthfully. Louisville traffic. It's going to be brutal. But that's going to wrap up a little bit of the Rambling Cards. Back in action tonight, 7 o'clock. We'll be back with you next week. Thanks for tuning in to another week's edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio.